still Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Now I'm being joined in the studio by architect Kabir Ibrahim. He's the president of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN. He joined us right here in the studio. Glad to have you on Business Daily today.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's start this way, the issue of Nigerian farmers, now, especially from some part of North Central and North West, migrating from grains farming to cash crop farming. What implication do you think this will have on food security?
Well, I think it will have a very serious effect because if you take maize, for instance, the requirement for Nigeria is well over 20 million metric tons. And if people shy away from producing it because they are not getting good value when they produce it, then that portends a lot of inefficiencies in the food system. And what you call food crops today, I mean, not food crops or cash crops today is a cliche. It's it's something that you probably would not talk about if you were around in the 60s when we had groundnut and cocoa and cotton as cash crops. There were standard questions in the primary school. You should name cash crops and cotton. And this was a colonial mentality, because the colonialists were taking these things in their raw form and adding value to them there and all that. But in country, we have reached a certain level when we should be even adding value to all of these things, and they become really cash crops. So I feel that, decisions to make people become lethargic in producing items that were hitherto the staple, or not hitherto, even now, the true staple in most regions, is trouble waiting to really happen. Because if you take maize again, for instance, there is even no segregation between human and animal consumption. And you need the livestock sector for food security in Nigeria, both the carbohydrates and the fillers and whatever you get. Absolutely. And then the animal feeds and all that all come from, a large quantity of them come from maize, for instance. It is the largest energy component of feed in the poultry industry. You need it. So I don't think people should be discouraged from producing those things and maybe doing those things that they can export and make money for personally, But the whole nation needs to look at what would bring in foreign exchange to it and make the economy really grow. Let everybody feel the growth. Not that you say the economy is growing and most people don't feel it. People can barely meet up their obligations to their children and to their families. So we should deliberately make efforts to encourage people to be there to produce what we need as food. Because unless we get food security, we will not be able to think from outside the box to get the quantum leap necessary to make Nigeria a first world. If you take China, for instance, for a very long time we thought China was an iron cotton country. Now, you want anything, you go to China.
Go to China, absolutely.
And then China is first world by all means and is feared by the United States. So Nigeria can do that, let's say for Africa. We are the giant and it's becoming like a cliche by name. Our economy used to be the best and the biggest in Africa. Now we're, I think, third. After South Africa, Egypt, and even fourth. So we need to really encourage people to produce optimally. And all of the things that you refer to as cash crops should actually be food crops here, and they could be making cash for you even within Nigeria and Africa. Because through AFTA, which I saw something about AFTA here, on TV, AFTA is making Africa one market. Therefore, there should not be any borders between us and any African country. So, and that market is very, very big. We just did the AFSF in Dakar, Cairo, and Dakar, Senegal, when we were trying to sell Nigeria. When the Nigeria's legacy was unveiled, part of what we said was that there were many improvements in the Nigeria's food system such that we can be a place to go to. So many things are happening. We are trying to reduce post-harvest loss. We are trying to do all-around production. We are trying to use IT to drive our climate smart agriculture and all that. So we are encouraging other countries to come into Nigeria. And now you give me the bad news that our farmers are leaving the traditional crops.
Because they actually complain about the declining, due to poor and declining returns on staple food crops such as maize and beans. They are spending so much on input, but they are not getting the money back in return.
That is true, and that is a fear that we have been talking about. Even the other day, about 2 days ago, I was on TV here talking about it, and I was on a rise talking about it. We were predicating our argument or discussions based on some announcement by the Minister of State around transport costs that will cause some turbulence, or that have been causing turbulence in prices of all these items. And government graciously tried to make people, happier by opening a window of importation. That was done, and that should have been closed, because as far as we are concerned, it is there. But there is a part that government can play internally. The people who are crying is because they are not getting good value for whatever they produced, and most of them have it that they are hedging. Now it's up to government now to resuscitate the GMP, the Guaranteed Minimum Price Scheme, so that they can buy off whatever these people are holding through the Guaranteed Minimum Price, give them a good price, and then bring it out and give the consumers a very comfortable margin or range of prices, so that there will be a balance. You need to always balance these things. It's a catch-22.
Wouldn't that eliminate middlemen?
Well, look, when you talk of middlemen, I don't talk of middlemen. I talk of agribusiness entrepreneurs. Yes, food will not move on its own accord from place of production to place of need. Some people have to peddle it, move it, and then sell it and get a good margin. The margin should be fair. Because, the Consumer Protection Council is not a price control board, but it ensures that people get fair value for whatever monies they keep. And that accommodates everybody. When profit is outrageous, you are called a Shylock for doing that. You moderately make your profit, and all the institutions and all the enabling environments have to be correct for you to be able to really do business. And agribusiness is sine qua non to economic growth in a country like Nigeria, where agriculture dominates our economy. It's not oil anymore. So we should deliberately make effort to calibrate what will happen between food production, food processing, marketing, storages, and even consumption. This is the food system. A food system should not be looked at in isolation as this is it, or production, or storage, whatever. You have to look at all of these factors contiguously.
Indeed. You made reference to your trip to Dakar in Senegal recently. You talk about going there to market Nigeria, telling them to come and invest in Nigeria. But given the kind of insecurity that we have, I mean, almost every day we report how farmers are being killed on our farms, and our currency is going down. Nigerians are even leaving Nigeria now to Niger, to Chad, to Benin Republic to go and work. They prefer to go there because their currency is now stronger than Naira. How will you juxtapose between marketing Nigeria and the current economic reality?
Well, I am not, a person who is pessimistic. That we have this problem today doesn't mean that it will not go away. You are not also reporting the efforts and the mileages that have been reached over this wahala. I come from Faskari, the southern part of Katsina State, where there is a lot of banditry and kidnapping. Just yesterday, there was a huge meeting of the bandits and other people, the farmers especially. And the bandits have said they are going to really lay down their arms, and people should go ahead and do whatever they do. So we are making inroads into,
from the experience, stemming once bandits achieve peace with a particular community, they move into another one.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is a work in progress. We should not be pessimistic that this will not go on. We should just make effort to make it work. That's what we should do, and it's you and I, it's everybody, it's not just government. Is
government helpless in this regard?
Government is not helpless. It's government that is brokering this, because there are two ways of looking at stemming insecurity. You go kinetically or you go non-kinetically. The non-kinetic
Especially
is talking with all these people and even traditional rulers and everybody else and the people. They are coming together and they know where the shoe pinches, and therefore they can take what decisions they do. That's why nobody should claim that they know everything. You should allow the people also to decide. I mean, who are these bandits? Were they not part of our community? Were we not going to the same school, the same mosques and churches and all that with them? Something happened and they went to the bush and all that. But look at it, are they really comfortable where they are? Even all the monies that they are taking from people, where are they spending it? Are they spending it in the bush? So which means that they have cohorts among us. And nobody will come to your house, for instance, without full knowledge of what happens there. So that's a problem.
Indeed. Is indeed a major concern, like you rightly said. But let's look at some of the reason there. There's low returns on food crops. Many food crops like maize, rice, and beans are experiencing low prices that are insufficient to cover cultivation costs, forcing farmers to seek more profitable alternatives. So what do you make about this? Government did say they're coming in to, support farmer with inputs. In most cases, they get some of this input very late, and in most cases, it doesn't even come at all. Now, the farmers will have to spend so much money on fertilizers, which is even more expensive than some bags of grains. How can we achieve balance in this regard?
Do you see you are leaving most of these things to the federal government. You should get all the subnationals to come together with the federal government and work together to solve these problems. This is work in progress. What has been happening, before was that some farmers believed and still believe that you should probably give them everything for them to produce. If you go to Wuse Market now, as you are, the shops are all filled to the brim. Is anybody putting anything for the shop owners? Is it not their own business to make sure that they have the stock? So the farmer is not looking for 100% support. But you should know that everybody in this country or in the world eats food. So everywhere in the world, whatever the economy is, there is some subsidy for fertilizer, for agriculture. So that must be done, and it should be balanced in the overall economy. Those things that are important that will make a lot, the producer to get leverage and to produce more optimally, you should make effort in Nigeria. Both the private sector, the government, and everybody else should make effort to make it possible, i.e., you see, when we had the PFI, the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, fertilizers 2010 MPK was selling like Coca-Cola. Anywhere you go, it was 5,500. I'm not sure that the farmers complained at that time. Even when we had COVID, the then chairman of the PFI, who is now the current Minister of Defense, came out to say that because of COVID, he gave another additional subsidy of 500 naira. So that fertilizer became 5,000. We came out of the vagaries of COVID immediately. Nigeria was adjudged to have overcome the downward trend in the economy due to COVID. Try to bring back that. Do the PFI.
Would you link that to the antecedent of the current minister, who was the governor in Jigawa State? Talking about the current minister for defense that you made reference to. I recall he was also the president of NASIMA at a point. Do you link that to his antecedent, understanding the business environment?
Definitely, yes. You cannot give what you don't have. He realized the need for there to be that intervention, and he could sell it to the president, and it was bought over, and it happened. Even today, the current governor of Jigawa State is also called the farmer governor. In Jigawa, you know what Jigawa means in Hausa? A soil that is very, very receptive and fertile to whatever. So if you are from Jigawa, you know about agriculture. Whether you partake in it or not, you know that you are a food basket in the northwest, and also even in Nigeria. So you must have a high premium on agricultural productivity. So I'm not surprised that His Excellency Badaru was able to do that. And of course, I would also associate it with his own experiences as having come from Jigawa and having been governor in Jigawa and having been there to see the effect of the PFI 5,500. That's why he said that. And up to today, he is still interested because we talk with him on agriculture. In everything that we do in agriculture, we talk to him and he is very receptive. He has never rejected my call when I call him to talk about.
Do you think he's in the wrong ministry?
He is not in the wrong ministry. Is the president a farmer?
Probably
is he, no,
better
no,
in the Minister of Agriculture.
No, I'm not sure. He is doing a good job there too, where he is. That's why I told you that in Faskari, for instance, yesterday was Sunday, there was a meeting of the bandits and the most of the people. And the bandits have said people should go about their own businesses. They are going to lay down their arms. I mean, is the Ministry of Defense not a party to what has happened? So he's doing a good job. But you see, the hunger issue overtakes every other thing. A hungry man will never be rational.
Absolutely.
So if people are complaining about the Tinubu administration as a whole and all that, because of the skyrocketing costs of food and because of the purchasing power of the Naira, you can understand it. And that's why I think government is not locking anybody up for saying this. Rather, they are working and changing and doing all they can to make sure that this is like COVID. When we had COVID, whatever everybody did, we were forced to use masks all over the place. Everybody thought it was right. And everybody accepted it because it was one of the ways that we thought we could get out of that wahala. So for whatever the government is doing, we must be sympathetic. If somebody came to say that the government said it was going to crash prices, look at it and advise on make it easier for people. And that's why when we came on TV here, we said there are many, many issues that should also be addressed while you are doing that. That is a factor, all right. It will make things a lot easier. But you can you can cover many mileages using other things as well. And this, like insecurity you mentioned, if there is no security, the farmers will not go seamlessly to the farm and produce optimally. So you work on the insecurity. You work also on power, energy, so that people can do processing. People can have cold storages. You talk about transportation, which means distribution of this food. You also advise people on consumption, that you should not get in a plate what you cannot finish. Because when you throw it into the dustbin, if it is not well managed, it becomes a source of disease. So the health sector will also have to be looked upon. Food quality will have to be looked at. And even the staples in the various regions must be addressed. If you are from, let's say, southeast, you are from Owerri, for instance. If they give you rice in the afternoon, rice in the evening, you will say that they are not giving you food. Because for you, it's swallow, it's gari and pounded yam. So if we want to give you food security, we should work on those things. If you go to Faskari, for instance, and you don't give people fura and nono, you are not doing anything. Because as far as they are concerned, that is an integral part of their food system. Absolutely. So we must look at all these geopolitical zones, look at what is staple in them, and accentuate the production of those things, and distribution and seamless distribution and the affordability of that thing.
Indeed, which is very, very important there. You talked about the issue around insecurity, which I think is very, very key. Let's also look at the desire of farmers for higher income. Are you going to blame them for this? Some of them can also be selfish as well.
Look, I am the president of agribusiness in Nigeria as well. You must do business for profit. But fair profit is very important. So I encourage farmers to do agriculture as a business. But I also encourage fair play in doing that. I'm not looking at them as selfish, but everybody is selfish. There is a virtue in selfishness. Have you read Ayn Rand? The virtue of selfishness? You must be selfish to a point, but then don't do it to denigrate others. Don't eat fat on other people. whatever people are saying as low price for their produce, you should interrogate it. What are the things that they put in before that production? Do you expect them to sell at less than their production cost? They would never be in business, even if you force them. Even at gunpoint, if I spent 50,000 to produce something and you force me to sell it 30,000, will it be there tomorrow? Will I be able to produce
Certainly
it?
not.
So this is it. So I don't want to look at or label anybody as selfish, label anybody as wicked or something. This is, I told you, work in progress. Government, in its desire to make things easier for people, can come up with these kinds of statements, but they should be moderated at all times. If you say you want to crash the price of food or items, you must do it considering that there are people who will also suffer for that action. There are people who will be happy. But you know, farmers, no single farmer produces everything that he or she requires or needs. So they also buy from the same market. And they will the only thing that they leverage on is the production of what they are good at producing. They will sell what is superfluous in what they produced to be able to buy whatever was in the market. So if the price of that thing is low, they will be happier too. So the farmers are not averse to having low prices. But what they are averse is if a situation arises where all the inputs that they put in production are also very costly or dollarized unnecessarily, then they will not be able to sell at rock bottom prices as is being agitated for. That is simple. That is the law of economics. That is the law of life.
Absolutely. And the president in that directive paid his urge, the effect to pay special attention to safe and unhindered transportation, movement of farm produce across transport routes.
Yeah.
How are we going to achieve that? Is it just about, paying, because the bottom line is that all of these problems revolve around one thing, the taking out of subsidy, which has already pushed up the cost of transportation.
No, I'm not sure that the issue is just to be looked upon as this was caused by removal of subsidy. Removal of subsidy is not supposed to affect the seamless movement, but it is supposed to accentuate the prices of things. Now, you look at it from two angles. If you are taking any food item from Okene to Lagos, for instance, you follow that road, and the trucks carrying food stay 2-3 days to get to where they are because of bad road and because they also have to queue up behind others, then some of the things that have short life will go bad. Right? And then the price that they charge because of what you said, removal of subsidy and all that is already high. So the person in Lagos who wants to buy this thing will definitely pay through their nose for this. What you should do to make seamless delivery of those things is the articulated vehicle, any articulated vehicle that is carrying food item in the interim, because I want to divide this concept into three.
All right.
Short term, medium term, and long term.
All right.
In the medium term, what you should do is any vehicle carrying food.
In the short term, you mean?
In the short term, yes.
Okay.
Any vehicle carrying food from place of production to place of need or use should be allowed to pass through. Be it that they should have sirens, be it that you should clear a lane for them to move, be it that you mark them as well, that this is carrying food, it should be given freeway. Then stop also the issue of stopping them for multiple taxation. That will ease issues. So that is in the short term. In the medium term, what you should do is use our rail wagons and make sure that there are these rail lines that pass right through and they do not interfere with the local road arrangements. Let them deliver food from places of production to places of use. In the final term, do a road network that will specify lanes for food carrying vehicles so that they will ply those roads unhindered and they will deliver food from place of need to place of use and then take back what the producers need from wherever they are and then back to them so that everything is seamless. That's what happens in the first world. If you take any road in Netherlands, even in England or the United States, look at a typical road. Some roads will have 8 lanes on the left, 8 lanes on the right. 2 of the lanes on the left, 2 on the lanes of the lanes in the right will be dedicated to food carrying vehicles. So they don't, nobody interferes with them. The traffic you have a log jam along the people who want to go picnicking and all that, but those ones delivering food will have freeway.
So in essence, the buck sticks stop on the government's table.
And the private sector, you see,
you're talking about social amenities.
I want to draw a distinction between something being the basic preserve of government and then private sector. Economy.
But something
any economy.
Infrastructure like roads.
Listen, even roads are built in some places by the private sector.
But some of the roads are
I am telling you that the dependence on government to do it is causing a lot of problems. Okay, look at some of the states. Are they not doing Listen, some states are doing flyovers, underground roads and all that. And they make good money. You know, the players will make good money. And then most of you are driving your last cars. What are you doing with those flyovers? The money should be dedicated to other things. Invest in agriculture, for instance. Dangote has started it. Is he not deploying the resources that he's supposed to pay as tax to road construction? These concrete roads, who brought it into the one he did in Apapa? So you allow them. If they can do it, fine. Roads, you should pay for road you use. If you go to Kenya today.
Dangote did that to make, as part of tax holiday that he got from the federal government, and also to make it easy for his own business, who is located in.
So I just told you something, and I hope you register it. The economy of any country in the world is 80% private sector. So if because I want to make my business to thrive, deploy whatever resources I have in making the possibility of distributing what I produce maximally. What is wrong with that? There are people, I'm telling you, even myself, there are places that when I was building my farm in the beginning, the drainage was very bad around my area. I put my money to do the drainage so that I will enter the farm seamlessly and all that. Did I make noise about it? You incentivize the private sector to be able to do these things and thereby help government, because government does not have the resources to do everything.
I agree with you, but there are some roads that are very important. For example, you talk about Okene. If you go from Okene to Benin, for example, that road has been in a very deplorable condition for close to 20 years, and nothing seems to have been done. And that is the major road that links the north and the southern Nigeria. That is beyond the private sector.
No, the private sector can still make noise for it to happen by constantly nagging that, look, this is impeding our business. Government should prioritize making that road. Do it. Someday, government will listen. And whosoever is going to take part will do. Because you are not telling me that the president who comes from Lagos is averse to making that road good. He wants to make it good.
We are building coastal roads.
As far as we are concerned,
from Lagos
as far as I'm concerned, a good case can be made for that road, and it will also be like your coastal road. I mean, this is normal. It's normal for anybody to want to do anything that they are kept on their toes to do. So maybe there is a very strong lobby for that. That's why it is there. So you are from Okene, make a strong lobby for that road. It will be done. I actually would want also lend my weight to it, that road should be done. With Katsina to Kano, Katsina, Abuja, Kano, Katsina dualization has been there for a very long time. Buhari was in charge. It is still work in progress. So this is what I tell you about the paucity of funds. And then also the implementation of policies. If you decide that this is what you are going to do, then everything else can take second place until that is accomplished. And that is what we must do in Nigeria. When you have a policy follow it through and make sure that you get to it, to the end. Then take the other one. But when you take too many things at a time, you may not be able to achieve anything. Well, I don't know what the federal government is doing in terms of, but in agriculture, I know that there are many, many windows open, and it's up to us.
Why I'm making reference to that is the fact that agriculture is very, very important in every economy at all, because you need to eat.
Yeah.
Everybody must eat. And now the problem we're having in agriculture is connected to the issues of transportation. You alluded to the fact that you can trucks transporting food from the north to the south. Some of them spend 1 week or more on the road before they get to Lagos. In most cases, some of the perishable items they carry are destroyed. Don't you think government should have been should pay attention to road infrastructure that connected, that some of these trucks actually apply, instead of, investing money in other areas?
I agree with you that we should give more emphasis to the completion of this road network, because it will ease many things.
Starting a new one.
It will make. I don't look. I'm not going to criticize anybody for doing anything that is not what you think should be done. That is not my point. My point is to add value to what is there. I'm sure there is a very strong argument on doing the coastal road that you are referring to, but there is a very strong need for this road through Okene, your village, to work. That's all right. And I can sit here and say that I want every road that is good to go to Katsina. But that doesn't mean that this is Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have 200. How many local governments? We have 774 local governments.
For Nigeria, the road I'm talking about is the road that almost every Nigerian passes through on a daily basis.
You are making a very strong argument, and I hope the president is listening, and the Minister of Works will be listening. So it is important that that road be addressed. It is important, and I support the idea of that road to be addressed. And I hope that it will come very soon.
Absolutely. As we wrap up now, this conversation now, you talk about the issue, the cash crop that we had in the past. Many of them have somehow gone into oblivion. Many of them, and you hardly see them these days, the cocoa, the coffee, and the cotton of this world. What kind of investment do you think we should have?
No. I think you are wrong. How can you tell me? How can you tell me that these things are wrong? Maybe you. I'm
not saying they are wrong.
That they are not around.
Where is the granite pyramid in Kano, for example?
Pyramids.
Where is the cocoa?
Maybe
the cocoa house in Ibadan.
You are a very young man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why the pyramids were pyramids. The pyramids were not done by government. The pyramids were, Al-Hassan Dantata, the father of Amin Dantata who died, he was a very strong LBA, a licensed buying agent, for the British. So he was buying and putting them there for transportation to Europe, to England. So he kept them such that, they could be seen everywhere. They were not because they were available people, farmers were just bringing them there. No, he went around buying them. Even from the Okene you are from, things that are working there, he will buy them, and then that is his port.
I'm from Kogi, but not from Okene.
Well, what I'm saying is that, you should understand exactly what happened. You cannot change history. Nobody wants to do this premise. We are not even encouraging anybody to send anything in its primary form abroad. We want them to process them here, add value here.
Absolutely.
So we are not looking for pyramids. Even some time ago, I think there were rice pyramids here. And the rice was supposed to have been produced here through Anko Borough program. You still have problems with rice. So those pyramids do not depict reality.
There's a lot to talk about that. There's no time for us to go into the Anko Boroughs and why this government failed to continue with that project. That is a topic for another day. I must thank you, Architect Kabir Ibrahim, President of Farmers Association of Nigeria. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. With that, is a wrap on the show today. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Yusuf Akogun.